Your hard, compacted clay soil isn't dead, it's locked. Beneath that dense, airless surface is a mineral-rich foundation waiting for the right biological key. And that key comes from something most people throw away: fully aged leaf mold extract, a dark, fungal-rich liquid that can fracture clay from the inside out. Clay becomes a problem when its microscopic particles bind tightly together, forming dense plates that resist water, air, and root penetration. It behaves more like pottery than soil, especially when dry, sealing itself into a hardened crust that suffocates life below. Traditional tilling seems like the obvious fix, but it often makes things worse. Each pass of a tiller breaks aggregates temporarily, only to collapse them again into tighter formations once moisture returns. Over time, this creates a cycle of compaction and crusting that's harder to reverse. Chemical fertilizers don't solve it either because they feed plants, not structure. They leave the mineral bonds intact, meaning the soil remains physically hostile even if nutrients are present. The solution lies on the forest floor, where fallen leaves quietly transform into rich, spongy humus over years. What makes this material powerful isn't just decomposition, it's the dominance of fungi. In well-aged leaf mold, you'll find fine white filaments threading through the dark matter. These fungal networks are specialized decomposers that break down lignin and complex carbon chains, and more importantly, they produce organic acids and enzymes that can dissolve mineral bonds in clay. This is fundamentally different from standard compost, which is often bacterial dominant and geared toward quick nutrient cycling. Leaf mold is slower, deeper, and structurally transformative. When you collect it, you're harvesting an ecosystem that evolved specifically to turn rigid organic matter into soft, breathable soil. To capture that power, you don't need heat or complicated setups. A simple cold water extraction preserves the living biology. Take a portion of fully decomposed leaf mold, dark, crumbly, earthy smelling, and submerge it in water. Agitate it gently over a couple of days, allowing the microbes, fungal spores, and humic compounds to leach into the liquid. As it develops, the water shifts from clear to a deep brown-black, signaling that it's loaded with dissolved carbon and microbial life. A small addition of molasses or starch can feed and multiply the organisms, increasing potency. The goal isn't just a tea, it's a concentrated biological solution capable of moving through tight clay pores and waking up dormant processes. Application is where the transformation begins. Instead of digging or turning, you saturate the surface thoroughly, allowing the extract to seep downward. This isn't a light watering, it's a deep soak designed to carry microbes into the compacted layers. Once inside, the fungi and associated microbes begin releasing enzymes that act like microscopic chisels, loosening the electrochemical bonds holding clay particles together. Almost immediately, you'll notice changes. The surface darkens, clods begin to soften, and water starts infiltrating instead of pooling. Within days, the rigid structure starts giving way to small pockets of air and space, forming the beginnings of real soil aggregates. It's not mechanical disruption, it's biological restructuring. Once the process starts, it feeds on itself, but it needs continued support. Keep the surface covered with organic matter like leaves or additional leaf mold to maintain moisture and provide ongoing carbon. This protects the developing structure and gives microbes a steady food source. Within a few weeks, the soil shifts from gray and lifeless to darker and more friable. Earthworms begin to appear, drawn by the improved conditions, further accelerating aeration and mixing. Over a few months, what was once impenetrable clay becomes workable, plantable loam. Roots move freely, water drains evenly, and nutrient cycling becomes self-sustaining. The long-term result isn't just better soil, it's a living system that improves with time, producing healthier plants with deeper resilience. Stay consistent with this method, and you're not just fixing soil, you're rebuilding an ecosystem from the ground up. Subscribe to Timeless Humus Path for more practical, nature-driven ways to restore soil health and turn overlooked materials into powerful tools for regeneration.